Hello and welcome back, beautiful soul, to Permission to Follow Your Inner GPS, your inner guided purpose soul path. Everyone experiences things similarly and yet very unique to them in their own way. And today we have another amazing, beautiful soul, Cindy Schulson. We've been connected for quite some years, and we got to reconnect at a recent summit, a new media summit in Austin in September of 2018. We don't remember how we got connected. We just remember that we did. And it was kind of like old home week. And I'm very happy to introduce her and share with you a little bit more about her. And before I go punching any more buttons, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce the beautiful Cindy Schulson. She serves coaches and consultants, helping them create authentic messaging and stand out online by marketing with heart versus hype. You don't have to shout to get your messages heard. You can connect with the hearts and minds of your ideal clients by speaking your truth. And she wants to share with us how she got started in this with her particular journey. So please welcome the beautiful Cindy Schulson. Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, that was really beautifully said, the way you put all those pieces together. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. We have some help. Please
nice.
Tell us about your journey, how you got to here.
Well, like many people, and not all, but we all come to our businesses with a wealth of experience. And in my case, it was corporate. I had been in the corporate world for many years. And it's ironic, Terry Marie, because I actually come from 3 generations of entrepreneurs. Like everybody in my family is an entrepreneur. But I went the corporate route, but I had cool experiences. Like I was external affairs manager for Coca-Cola in Vietnam. Like that was one of my most fun experiences, and got to live and work all over the place. But then in my late 30s, had kids and decided to just say goodbye to corporate. And so just, took some time to breathe and enjoy, raising little ones. But then like every type A person, I'm like, okay, so what's next? I dabbled in lots of different things and finally discovered coaching in 2008. And I kind of dove in. I didn't dip my toe in the water. I was studying coaching and internet marketing at the same time. And I made a big mistake that I'm grateful for now because it taught me some important things. But I spent like a year and a half completely spinning my wheels. I was doing all this marketing and getting absolutely nowhere. And the irony, of course, is that I worked in strategic communications my whole career, but I had no strategic focus, no clear message. And I was like, oh my gosh, I finally took a step back, and it taught me such a valuable lesson that we can't start marketing until we are clear about our focus and our message. And so I really take that lesson to heart when I see people spinning their wheels, because I was doing the exact same thing.
Why do you think it was such a challenge to not be clear for yourself when you were so clear for the person, the corporation that you worked for?
Because we're so close to ourselves. Well, 2 reasons. One, we're so close to ourselves that we don't see it clearly. But secondly, I made a mistake that a lot of people make, which is that I said, okay, that was then, like corporate. This is now. And I just basically said, I'm completely reinventing the wheel. And I didn't think about how can I leverage my experiences, whether they're personal or professional, but in a way that I'm passionate about. And so when I help my clients with their niche, rather than just say, well, choose a target market and figure out what they want, what I do is I help people start by looking within themselves. So we look within you. What is the solution you're here to provide? And then we can match it with the right ideal client for you. That's why my business is marketing from within. It all starts from within you.
It does. I love that part about marketing with heart versus hype. I think that was the first type of marketing book that I bought, was Marketing with Heart. Of course, I did not even know about having a clear picture. It was like I was a reader and a healer. What else did I need to know? You know, a lot, a lot. And yet, you said something very important, and viewer, beautiful soul, viewers, listen. And I'm going to reiterate this just a little bit, because we have mainstream marketing to work within, but how do you marry that with who you are rather than trying to fit into somebody else's box? Isn't that what you help your clients do and figured out for yourself?
Absolutely. So, here, I want to give everybody like a real simple definition of marketing if I can, because
Please,
once
yes.
I figured this out and I could see it in these terms, it changed everything for me. So to me, marketing is sharing your message with the right people so they're inspired to take action. So I want to break that. Can I break that down? Do I have a minute?
Please do.
Okay.
Yes.
So if we break that down into little bite-sized pieces, marketing is sharing your message. So we need to know what your message is before we can start marketing. Duh, right? Took me a while to figure that one out. With the right people, we have to know who to focus your message on, or else you're just going to be shouting to the wind. So they're inspired to take action. And that's really important. In marketing is all about kind of working backwards. It's all about figuring out what you want people to do and then inspiring them, not pressuring them or manipulating them, but inspiring them to take that action. And so that's what I help people do, is put together those pieces of the marketing puzzle. So it's simple and it flows instead of being this force fit.
I like that. Figuring it out, like what is it you want them to do, or what is it you would like them to be inspired to do, not
Right.
make or any of those other things. Because when we think of salespeople, we go, ew. And yet everything is sales. You go into the grocery store, they may not be telling you which cereal to get, but it's pretty much the same thing, right?
Well, here's the thing. I actually just literally 15 minutes ago got off of a call. It was a consultation call. And she basically said, okay, I'm ready to sign up for my Marketing with Heart mentoring program. And I'm like, okay, great. And she said, that's the easiest sales call ever. And I'm like, well, you know what? Because if in your marketing, you really add value, you build that relationship of trust, you're speaking to the right people with a message that's clear, that's authentic to you, but also connects with your ideal clients. By the time you get to the sales conversation, it's pretty easy. The only missing piece too that we have to make sure we're clear on is the offer.
Yes.
So we have to know, what our message is and who we're speaking to, and what action we want them to take. So that action could be get on your email list, sign up for a consultation, invest in your program. We have to figure it out based on, where you're at in the marketing cycle. But once you get them into a consultation, it's really important that you have a clear offer. And can I share my way of putting together that offer real quick with you?
Sure.
Okay. So a lot of times, have you ever sold your time, or a bundle of your time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. We've all done this mistake, right? And so what I like people to do, what I help my clients do, is put together what I call a client journey. It's just the journey you're taking with your clients, the steps, and the results they get at each step. So as an example, my client journey is very simple, 3 steps. Clarify your message, share your message, monetize your message. So if I can just put together a journey and I can show people what the results are at each step, when I do a consultation, it's tangible, it's clear what we're going to do together and what results we're going to get. And so I've packaged my expertise instead of just selling my time. So that's another really, really important clarity piece we want to have.
Thank you for sharing that, because that's so important, especially for so many of our viewers who are empaths or sensitive to energy, because how do you do that? And how do you put a dollar figure on it? And most readers and healers and first-time coaches say, well, this comes easily to me, so, shouldn't I be giving most of it away? And how did you, I know you didn't come from that background, but how did you transition into finding your own value from corporate to doing your own business and coaching?
That's a fantastic question. So here's what I do in my own marketing is that I teach a lot. I just did a whole workshop series where I spent 3 days teaching and coaching for free. I mean, totally for free. And then the right people who want my help implementing what I just taught will step up and say, I want to work with you. So that's an example. Sorry. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
How did you align that with, I get the concept. And for a long time, and in a way, I might still be working with this particular piece, honestly. Hey, we all can learn from each other, right?
Yeah.
How do you be okay with giving so much and not feeling resentful at some point? Did you ever?
Probably. I can't remember exactly. It's been 10 years.
That's good.
But I really believe selling is an invitation. And so what I do is I show up fully for people. And if they feel inspired by what I share and they realize that it's one thing to have information, it's another thing to apply it and actually bring it to life for themselves. The serious people will raise their hand and say, yeah, I want to get your help. And those are the people I want to work with. And
that makes a lot of sense, because there are a lot of beautiful souls who maybe can't literally, not literally, but authentically manage in a budget. Some of them.
Yeah.
And then there are others who are absolutely ready, because it's like, okay, now they get a good taste of your energy and your style and what you bring to the table to benefit them, so that it's actually a very nice integration of coaching, learning, and implementing. There?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not saying that the only way to market is to do such a deep dive like I just did. I do webinars and things like that as well. Challenges, like there's all different modalities. But the key to me, I have a little model that I kind of go by. So when we're marketing and we're adding value and building that relationship, we want to share the what.
Mm-hmm.
We want to share the why. And I think a lot of people miss this part. Why is that important? If you can't strategically explain why you need to do something, then I'm willing to bet you that you just heard it somewhere and you don't really understand it. And you're just kind of okay. So what and why? There, you can give some of the how, but obviously you can't fully teach the how in that setting. You'll just overwhelm people, but you can give them some tips on the how. But my favorite piece is examples. So when you can use case studies and stories and to really bring things to life for people to show them how this works. And in doing so, you can even profile your clients and give them a little visibility. It's such a win-win. So just think about that. So what, why, a little bit of how, and some examples. And then you can give a lot and still have the right people say, okay, I want her help getting this, making this happen for me.
I love that. What was one of the obstacles or challenges, because you talked about in the first year or so, you were all over the place and wasn't sure, didn't realize fully maybe that you didn't even have your clear message because you were leaving the corporate all behind. So how did you get to that point where you actually go, hello, I need my own message, and what is it?
Yeah. So what I did is I finally took a step back. I put together like a little step-by-step system to help me with my own niche. And I put it up into like a free report. I didn't even have a website yet, just had a landing page. And literally within a few weeks, I had more people on my email list than in the entire year and a half before that. And that's when it was like, ding, ding, ding. And so that was my first business, was to track your niche. And I'm a big believer that like a message is not like a one and done. It's constantly evolving. So as I sort of evolved and I got really clear on who I was here to help and what I stood for and, you know, how I want to show up in my business, I actually underwent a rebrand in 2015. And that's when I came up with Marketing from Within. And it just feels so much me, you know, because
It does. It absolutely does. And even though I think it was in September, the first time we actually met face to face, but that even in that small amount of time, you can get a real good feel for someone's energy, and it really does fit. Marketing from within, it absolutely fits. And I love that because there are so many who want to start their own businesses or grow their businesses, but they have this weird feeling inside trying to fit into mainstream. And yet that's the vehicle.
yeah, there's a lot of noise out there, and you know, it it's kind of, I'll be honest with you, like sometimes even me who teaches how to stand out with all this noise, it gets to me too. Like I am tired of like 5 million Facebook ads telling me how to build 7-figure business and blah blah blah. It's like it's just exhausting, you know. And so what I help my clients do, one of the things that I'm most passionate about is teaching people what I call a core message, which is what you stand for in your business. Because the reality is there are lots of people who do what you do, but when we can infuse your stand, your unique perspective or approach in your marketing, that's when you can, that's the authenticity piece.
Yes.
That's the passion piece. And so with every client, that's one of the first things I help them do after the niche is create that core message. So I'll tell you mine. You want to hear mine just for fun?
Absolutely. Let's hear yours. Yes.
Okay. So to be a smart marketer, you have to know your target market. But to build a profitable business you love, you have to know yourself. And that's my stand. Yeah.
And
And
without knowing yourself, how do you know what it is you have to really offer? I mean, yes, a reading, a healing, a coaching, CPA, whatever, whatever. And yet, without really knowing you, how do you then express what it is you came here to do?
that's right. And how do you know, to me, your business is one of the most incredible vehicles for growth. You know, I'll put it right up there with having kids or moving to a foreign country or going, whatever else you've gone through, right? In terms of fun experiences. But it does. And so that's the other cool thing. It's like, we're constantly growing. We're constantly evolving.
Yes.
We just have to, you know, just go with the flow a little bit, you know, like one of my mottos is build on success. Like sometimes people want to know, okay, what's going to happen like a year down the line or 2 years down the line or whatever. It's like, in terms of like launching a program or this and that, like, it's okay. Let's just do it. Let's figure out what went well, what we liked, what we didn't like, and then we'll just do it again and improve it and just keep building on our successes, you know? So anyway, I don't know how I've got off on that tangent, but there you
That's
go.
okay. We're just going with the flow like we usually do, and that's all we can do here. Well, we can fight it, but that talking about going with the flow, when you are ready to or have been ready to up level, because we get to do that as you talk about going with the flow and evolving, that also means raising your vibe, raising what you're doing, not necessarily more hours, but up leveling how you'd show up. So how have you navigated or gone with the flow when you have decided, okay, this is what we're doing? Take a deep breath and plunge. So how do you manage that piece for yourself? Beautiful.
It's such a great question. So I'll give you an example with this Marketing with Heart mentoring program. I've known in my heart that I wanted to do this for about 2 years. But I was like, oh, I have to create another program. You know, I was just so tired of it. So I was going to do it. I wasn't going to do it this summer because I was like, oh, the kids are at school. I just want to, you know, enjoy it. But then I started doing consultations with some people. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this isn't about me. They need this. And I just did it. So I guess for me, it's like, if I can really not just focus on me and what I need in my business, but really focus on the people I'm here to serve and how I can best serve them, that's how I keep evolving, is by staying focused on that. So even if, something's not going great, the way I want it to, I just try to take the focus off of me and say, oh, it's okay. I'm here to serve these people. This is what it's going to look like for now. And it'll change and evolve.
I love that, because another reason, it doesn't have to be perfect. It needs to be good, not rubbish, but not perfect. And so many, I think early on for a short time, it was like, well, I think I can do better, or it needs to, and I don't anymore, because most of what I do, nearly all of what I do, is channeled. And so I massage it a little bit, but then I start putting it out there, because otherwise we probably wouldn't be doing this podcast either.
It's so true. And you know what the funny thing is? I've been doing programs now for 8 years. It's the best program I've ever done.
And it wouldn't be the best one you'd ever done had you not done the others.
Exactly.
It's like you build one on top of the other.
Exactly. Because I did something similar a few years ago and I didn't love it. So I ran it twice and I stopped. And then as I evolve and I grow and I really get tuned into what I want to teach and what people really need to succeed, then I redid it. And it's my favorite program I've ever done. So yeah, you're absolutely right.
I love that combination of what I love to teach and what people need, because there are quite a few out there that teach find a need and fill it. Well, yes, but if you don't love it, it's going to fall flat on its face and you're going to hate it at some point. So I love that you talk about what you love to do and filling a need. So how does what you love to do fill a real need, right?
Well, yeah, and it's what I love to do, but also where my greatest expertise lies.
Okay.
Because sometimes we try to do too many things. We end up diluting ourselves,
Yes.
So I always think back, I told you I come from 3 generations of entrepreneurs. My grandfather came from Poland, and he, couldn't even speak the language, but he was amazing. And he grew up this bakery, and it turned into a franchise of 15 bakeries.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But I think it got too big, and he was so good at breads, like amazing breads with recipes he brought from Europe and stuff. But then, I'm sorry, but his cakes were trash. His pastries were not that great. And it's just like, sometimes we just get ahead of ourselves and we start piling things on, and it's not necessarily in our zone of genius. So we have to play from that place, I think, too.
Yes.
Yes.
Be the best reader, be the best life coach, be the best marketing within person. I agree, because you said it very well. I don't need to reiterate it. Up your expertise and build on that. You can add a few little pieces as bonuses and enticements, but focus on your best thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So focus on, simple it down to, that's the other thing. My very first program I launched, actually it was the second one, had 10 steps in it. Nobody ever finished it. So now I've got it down to 3. Much better.
We pile on too much stuff, don't we?
Yeah. And we think it's actually serving people, but it's actually the opposite, right? Nobody gets through it. Yeah.
And that doesn't help them. What is one obstacle or challenge that you'd like to visit one at a time, share with our viewers, so when they visit and view your episode, that they may be able to say, you know what, Cindy did it and I can do it too. What is one thing that you can share with them to help encourage them along their path?
Well, that's kind of a hard question to answer, because I'm not sure where they are on their path.
So
I'll just do my best. But I mean, it really, I think it just goes back to what we've been saying about building on success.
Mm-hmm.
And just breathe, enjoy the journey, allow yourself to grow through it, because it will challenge you more than just about anything. and just see it as a vehicle for your creativity, for your helping others and creating an impact, for your ability to, constantly challenge yourself and grow. And I just think if we see it as a journey that's fun and that can bring rewards, both financial and in terms of the impact, I don't know. I think that takes a lot of the stress out of it. Don't you think so? Like just.
Yes. And the one word we haven't mentioned, and it's come up twice, so failure. You only fail when you don't work on something, when you don't try, when you don't follow it through, because upon that stepping stone, you actually get to the next piece.
Exactly. That's beautifully said. Yeah.
Please tell our viewers how they can contact you, how they can find you.
Sure. Well, my website is marketingfromwithin.com. Easy enough. I do have a free training there. It's an authentic brand training. And so what I teach in that, really it comes down to what are the 3 things your ideal clients want to know before they hire you? And how can you put that into the brand that you show up as? So I think it's helpful. It's a video and there's an action guide with it. Now, if after hearing me and you were like, okay, I want to speak with her, that's fine. Just on my website, you'll see a page that lets you just go ahead and schedule a call with me and we'll chat and see how I can serve you.
And is there a social media platform that you would like to share with them?
Yeah, I actually have a free Facebook group too. I have a free Facebook group called Marketing with Heart. And,
Marketing with Heart. Okay.
Yeah. So you're welcome to join that as well. I'm on Facebook too. I have to thank my husband because I'm the only Cindy Schulson on Facebook.
Yay.
Isn't that crazy?
Nice. Because we won't go into that. So marketingfromwithin.com and Marketing with Heart Facebook group. And Cindy Schulson is spelled Cindy, CindySchulson.
You got
Just
it.
in case y'all needed a little bit of help with that. Thank you so very much for joining us and being here and taking time out of your schedule. I really enjoyed it. And thank you so much for sharing all of that about marketing from within. I love it.
Thank you so much for having me. It was fun.
It was. And beautiful soul, we have a free gift for you. Become a mover and shaker of your reality at angeldreamteam.com. And we'll see you next time on Permission to Follow Your Inner GPS. Thank you for being with us. Bye-bye for now.